morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Radical Sim Racing Round 2 from Rudskogen Motor Centre in Norway. And, well, the track is, how can I put it, very tight, twisty circuit. The track itself is set in Rackstad in Norway, and a new version of the circuit, which is what we're racing on today, opened in 2012. So a fairly new track in consideration. The length is 3.254 kilometers, 2.022 miles, 14 turns here tonight. Now, I think the interesting thing about this circuit is we watched a series on it earlier on, and it was very, how can I put it? It was very tight to overtake. Most of the drivers struggled on the circuit, and basically overtakes were few and far between, shall we say. But I think tonight we could be in for a good one. We do have AMs and pros on track together, and we've currently got 16 drivers on track ready to go here as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on the bells for notifications, because that will be absolutely incredible. We have 3:52 left of practice, just enough time to guide you through the schedule for this absolutely epic series. So we start here at Rudskogen, and then on, next week we're off to Spain for the Circuit of Barcelona or Catalonia, depending on who you talk to and how you know it as. And then on the 26th we're off to Mount Panorama Circuit in Australia. You know what that means. Bathurst, Corkscrew. Oh, what an epic race. Then on the 2nd of February, we're going off to the Red Bull Ring, and then on to Alton Park Circuit International with no chicanes. Okay, so let's make the most of that. 16th of the February, we're going to the Legacy Silverstone Circuit, and then we're finishing off the season at Brands Hatch Grand Prix on the 23rd of the 2nd. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. Now, after last week's race as well, Greg Seitz took first, Lucas Vieira second, and Matteo Simonari took third place overall. So from at the moment, we've got Greg Seitz on the top on a 1:16.24. I think, though, it's interesting because Lucas Vieira is last season's champion, and he's got a lot to do, because last week he kind of did lose by quite a large margin over Greg. You know, I think it was like 10 to 13 seconds of the gap. And I think from their point of view, you know, for Lucas's point of view, he's got to come back now and stamp his authority on this race, because if he doesn't, Greg could run away with the championship, you know, and he doesn't want to allow him to get away in the standings. He's got to be careful of that one. But what we will do is bring you up the current championship standings of the Pro and Ams. Okay, so we'll bring you up the Pro and Ams here tonight, and you can have a look and see who your favorite driver is and see who is winning. We'll start off with the pros. Greg Seitz is leading overall on 70 points, with Lucas Vieira in second on 67. Matteo Simonari in third on 60. Mateus Moraes in fourth on 55. Diego Zuccarelli, newly promoted this season as well, for Event Matrix on 50. Juan Moncada from Team Redline on 47. Richard Quinn on 38. Antonio Alvarez on 35. Havana Shavorgian on 28. David Graybill on 24th. And then 0 points Stephen Place and Marius Blender there. Now in the AMS, we've got Richard Hearn in first place, currently on 46. Tyler Brown in second on 41. Kansas Gentry in third on 32. Joe Jacklin on fourth on 30. Richard Price on 26. Charles Krasik on 21. Warren Henry on 19. And the rest haven't scored yet. So in the team standings overall, this is the current situation on Wheels TV. He's got 120 points. Russ Racing on 98. Event Racing on 76. Ingersoll ran by Ineos Esports there is on 60. Team Redline 47. And Scowers on 24. But what we will do is switch over to the race screen, and we'll see you very shortly. As if by magic, we are back here tonight as well. So the current championship standings, as I said, here is the pros. There you can see Greg Stokes leading the way, currently on 70 points. Lucas Vieira in second. And then we've got Simonari in third, which was your top three from last week. In the AMs, Richard Hearn in first place there currently at the moment. Tyler Brown in second. Kansas Gentry in third. Joe Jacklin in fourth. Richard Price in fifth. And of course, we can run you through the overall teams currently as well. On Wheels TV on 120, Russ Racing 98, Event Racing on 76, Ingersoll Ram by Ineos on 60, Team Madline 47, and Scours on 24. So we are just going into qualifying very, very shortly, and hopefully we'll be able to make this all work correctly, which it does do. And don't forget, we have got closed qualies, so there will be cars riding around solo this evening, so be prepared for that one. We will get underway very, very shortly in qualifying. We've got some cars out on track. Lucas Vieira is out as well. So I hope everybody is well. Welcome in Stephen Place. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you not on track this evening? Where are you, young sir, if you're not here racing around this wonderful circuit that's going to be, well, how can I put it, very, very interesting, I think, here tonight. I think it's going to provide some action that overall could be really good, but overall it could be really bad. It depending on how the racing goes and depending on how everybody copes with this circuit, because it's going to cause problems. We can see that, we know that, but it's how they cope with it, you know, and I think that's the thing this evening as well, where they're going to be looking at making moves, because they haven't got much of an opportunity here to make their move around this course. And what we'll do, we will jump on board with Lucas Vieira and see how he copes with this course. There are a lot of slowdown areas, not going to lie, there's slowdowns all over the place on this circuit, so they do have to be careful. Even when I took it for a spin on myself, I got a lot of the slowdown. So here we are going into turn one. Third gear, trying to catch the curve. We're going to flick down to second. Hugging that inside curve on the gas we go, getting it on as early as power and the grip would allow us to. And then we've got this run down into 3 or 4. Downhill braking. That alone is difficult. So we're going to come off the throttle. We're going to start braking now, down through 4. Down through third, letting it run in. We're going to put it back into the exit and onto the gas we go. Going through the S section of 5, 6, 7 and 8. This left-hander down second gear, pulling it all the way in. Hugging that curve, getting on the gas now. To be able to catch that exit curve just on the right-hand side there. You just saw it as we raced down into 10. Tight right-hander, second gear. Again, hugging it in, getting the car under steady, and then we're off to the front. Now, this is the corner that everybody jumps up at, 12. Kind of appears from nowhere, and as you can see, Lucas Vieira there, that's the problem with that curve, turn. It shows up and it literally just appears from nowhere, and you've got to realise when you've got to brake. It's a very difficult corner to get right, but that is a lap here, as we see Lucas Vieira going around now. Goes across the line on a 1:18.023. I am expecting times to come a lot quicker there as well. Johan Mercado on a 1:18.6. Richard Hearn behind that on a 1:18.88. Havana Shivorgian is going green across the board. Let's see how he gets on as he goes round the final corner. Can he get anywhere near the front end? Stephen Place goes into pole on a 1:17.9. Havana Shivorgian on a 1:20. Greg Seitz is going round as well. He's coming round turn 13 and 14. Let's see what time he can do here tonight and see how he gets on. There you go. Greg Seitz goes across the board. Across the line. No time for Greg. He's going to have to go again. He obviously got a slowdown somewhere on the circuit, and when we're talking about these slowdowns, they are very, very tight as well. A corner you wouldn't think you would get a slowdown on, you do, especially oddly enough, around turn 10, if you run wide and go over the white line, you get a half a second slowdown. So from that point of view, these guys have got to be careful because slowdowns dominated earlier on as well with the two leaders that were racing. You can check the video out. It is the Radical Race Series 2023 season. They're in the YouTube playlist channel. You can catch up with all the action there as well, and there were slowdowns, quite a lot of slowdowns this evening in that race, so hopefully we won't see them here, but we will have to see. This is Manuel Solazano, here tonight, new into the series this week. Let's see, currently sitting in third place. Greg Sykes goes into second on a 1:16.964. Solazano is going around that very tricky turn 12 before he runs off around 13 and then comes to the long right-hander of 14. Don't forget, guys, as well, welcome in. You can have a chat. I will respond and say hi. So if you are here, please let me know you're here and I will say hi to you. We've got 17 cars on track. Solazano goes into fourth place. Christopher Reagan is another one, new one here in the championship, is currently sitting in sixth place. So let's see how Chris Reagan can do. Joel Moncada's gone into third. I'm pleased about that. Not because for any other reason apart from Moncada last year really struggled with consistency, and he had a good first race. And we're going to see how he gets on here as well. Kevin Norton, I hope it's a good race. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be a wonderful race. Antonio Alvarez goes into fourth as well. So we've got 4 pros on the top. Then we hit Solazano behind that and Richard Hearn behind that. Here comes David Graybill. How's he going to do? 3:37 left on the clock. No time from Graybill either, so it means he got to slow down somewhere around the course. It doesn't look like he's registered an off track, so we'll go with Joel Jacklin. Joel's just coming around it into the tricky turn 12. This is apparently a corner here for turn 11, and then it's downhill left-hander. Comes up very quick, very, very quick. Lucas Vieira goes quick again on a 1:16.463. Matteo Simonari currently sitting in 10th, but is currently on an all-green lap. 2 minutes 58 remaining. Simonari now is going to go across the line. Where is he going to be? He's going to be in third place. Simonari in third place. Don't forget they have got only 10 minutes or 4 laps. And then we've got the 30-minute race. There's a few that haven't completed their 4 laps. Greg Sykes is one of them. He's going to be going across the line now. Can he dislodge Lucas Vieira on pole? 1:16.518, quicker for him, but not faster overall. Gevorgian there as well. Tyler Brown has still got quite a few laps remaining. He's got his 4 left, but he has only got 2:12 left on the clock. It's gone in deep into 10. That's not really going to help him when he needs to be getting that exit. And that line on the outside is so tight. Like, you get an off track there as well, and it's a half a second off track just for running slightly wide. This circuit for off tracks is tight, very, very tight, and they're going to have to be exceptionally careful. What can Tyler Brown do on his lap now? Let's take a lap with Tyler. Too deep, young sir. You want to be on the paddle brakes a lot earlier than that. Second gear might assist you there, going around that corner. Not sure if, Tyler can hear me, but I'll become his crew chief with a 0. Start changing down, there we go. Down one more, down one more. Pull it in to the right-hand side. Over the curb you go, off on the gas. Go left, over, he wants to take more of that curb, more of that one. Second gear at the top of the hill. Pull it in. On the gas he goes. On the gas, on the gas. Oh, he could have gone on the gas a little bit earlier. Unless he's dragging that outside curb, he's not gone on the gas early enough. Needs to brake a little bit harder there to get that car slowed down as he goes around this run from 11. You can see 12 about now. There it is. On the gas you go, son. Well done. Slight lift. Line it up over the curb. Down into second. Pull it in. On the gas. Further in the gas. On the gas we go. There we go. And then we go off across the line. And let's see what Tyler Brown can do here. 1:23.54. So it's quite a difficult lap. He had that bad entry into one, which didn't help him. So there we go. We've got 17 cars here tonight that's going to be racing down into turn one. Now, I did have a conversation earlier on with Ewan, who I was co-commentating with earlier. We kind of had a mixture of circuit ideas in here, and we think it does look like a couple of circuits, this one. But let's run you through the grid. Lucas Vieira is in first, Greg Seitz in second, Matteo Simonari in third, Christopher Rogan fourth, Richard Hearn fifth, Juan Moncada sixth, Antonio Alvarez in seventh, Manuel Solorzano in 8th, Stephen Place in 9th, Diego Zuccarelli in 10th, Charles Krasik 11th, Havana Shavogian down in 12th, Joel Jacklin 13th, David Graybill 14th, Tyler Brown 15th, Warren Henry 16th, and Torsten Lawson down in 17th place. So there we go. Let's see here, we've got Lucas Vieira on pole. He's got to make a statement. Lucas has got to put his foot down and say, no, 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 Mr. Greg, I am current reigning champion. I will not let you win. He's got to put his foot down, because if Greg gets away off the line on him and takes that first corner hole shot, he's gonna be in trouble. And I think from Vieira's point of view, he's got to make a statement here tonight. He has to, because otherwise Greg might make a statement of his own. So from Lucas Vieira's point of view, he's got to go for it early on here tonight. He lost last week, defending champion, and he lost quite heavily. You know, it was quite a gap. So he's got to be a little bit more sensible and make a statement and say, not happening. No, no, no. Right. Let's see. Just waiting for the lights to come on. It was nearly 10 seconds Lucas lost by last week. So, right, here we go. The lights are going to be on. 3, 4, 5. Vieira's, he's got a slow start away. Seitz is in straight away up into first place. Greg Seitz got Lucas Vieira off the line. Everybody else, Juan Moncada, Antonio Alvarez has made it through. Christopher Reagan and Charles Krasik behind him there as well. Diego Zuccarelli on the left-hand side. You can see from Events Matrix, but it is Stephen Place currently trying to make a move here on Alvarez. Place on the left-hand side. Solorzano there as well. He gets Solorzano. Oh, Solorzano's coming back. No, these guys battling it away currently at the moment. But up front, Greg Seitz did what he needed to do. He got away, he's jumped Vieira. Vieira's trying to come back on him. He knows he needs to be making this move early on, and if he doesn't, he's going to struggle. Vieira's gone up the inside of Seitz. It's just got to let that open up that steering on that SR10. For Seitz to go to the stop. He hasn't. Coming through 11. Are they going to run? No! Contact! Oh, Simonari holds it, but only just there from Richard Hearn. Vieira can't let him get away. Can't let him get away. If he lets him get away, that's it. It's the mental mind games involved in this for Greg Seitz is massive. Greg stamps his authority on this race. He's going to be in trouble. Absolutely in trouble. Chris Reagan there from Elite West Racing. Havana Shavogian is off as well. Manuel Solorzano's off. Tyler Brown's off. There's Tyler there. Solorzano. Oh, there's another spinner at the back. That's David Graybill. No, 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 no. Oh, gee whiz, Batman. Gee whiz. And we can have a look at this catalogue of errors that went on, starting with Havana Shavogian. There is Gevorgian, goes in. Oh, locks his brakes. Solizano goes across. No. Excuse me, Mr. Sir. Please don't enter like that. There goes David Grable. And there goes Tyler Brown. There as well. No. So here we are, back here now. Greg Seitz has still got Vieira behind him currently at the moment. So Vieira is closing, he's about 3 tenths back. So let's see if Vieira can get Seitz here. See how he gets on. Oh, there was a big off then. That was Simonari. Richard Hearn trying to come back round the outside currently at the moment as these guys are battling it off around turn 8. Greg Seitz, Lucas Vieira up front, Matteo Simonari. Richard Hearn is leading the AMs. He's doing an absolute stellar job. 4 tenths back from Simonari. If he can stick with Simonari, he might be able to get pulled along here. So this should be interesting as well. Joe Jacklin is at the back of the field. Warren Henry behind that with Torsten Lawson. Lawson with Gevorgian up behind him. Gevorgian has just about going to send it into 10. He does do. And away he goes, so he's taken that position away, currently in 14th place. Grable's entered into the pits. He had another incident. Seeing how he gets on, Juan Moncada with Antonio Alvarez behind him. Stephen Place with Chris Reagan behind that as they come into turn 1. But it's here with Moncada and Alvarez. So we go on board with Alvarez now. He's pulling round, currently round 8. 4, then he's going to go 5, 6, into 7, drop down into 8. He's looking a little bit more racy than Moncada up front. It looks like he's got a little bit more pace here. Has Alvarez. Down through the gears into 10. There is the team. Ooh, couldn't quite get on the power as much as he wanted to there. Into the tricky 12. Don't let it spin, don't let it spin. Round 13, 14. Oh, Moncada, you need to pull that in. And off we go again. Richard Hearn losing contact to Simonari, and that unfortunately for Hearn may drop him down into the pack, and he doesn't really want to be doing that. Vanis Gevorgian looks like he's had another off further down into the field. Looks like he's had an off at round 10. Oh, there he goes. Vanis Gevorgian pushing a little bit too hard, a little bit far early on when he needs to. But we're back live now. There's a little battle in front, Tyler Brown and Torsten Lawson. Brown has just got past. So Brown is now pushing on to try and get Warren Henry. Lawson is just trying to defend hard from Gevorgian here, as this is a battle down your field for 14th, 15th and 16th. There is Gevorgian. The thing is as well, awful start to the season for Grable. He's struggling to get up to speed in a new car on a limit practice. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Gevorgian, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Yeah, you definitely need to be out on track with this car. If you're not, you're going to struggle. Now, early on in the week, I think it was Monday, okay, I went on track. Now, anybody that knows me doesn't know, who knows me knows I don't get on track very often, okay, so I saw that it was at Hockenheim, and I thought, what is the worst thing that could happen here? So I jumped into my session, and I'll tell you to carry on after this. I just want to watch Alvarez. Alvarez is just has got past Place. Can Place look at coming back on Alvarez? Because there's Moncada in front from the other team, Madline. I'll carry on with that story in just a second. Place here, dropping the back a little bit. His gap's back out to 3 tenths. 22 minutes remaining. Oh, Alvarez runs wide. This is going to be the into 12. He's got to try and get that car back under control again. Because if he starts sliding like it's like Bambi on ice, this car, I'll tell you that much. Because once you start losing tyres, and Place has got in well deep there, he's going to lose Alvarez altogether. Right, so back to my story. There I was driving around Hockenheim. And so driving around Hockenheim, doing the business, okay? Driving around, I started at the back of the field because I knew I was going to be drastically slow. And then I moved up into 10th. And then this man on your screen, out of the whole field, I wasn't expecting it to be Mr. Krasik. Charles Krasik going in to turn 2 decides that he likes the look of my SR10, and he joined in the back end of my SR10 ceremoniously at turn 2. Now the reason for this was I backed away from 8 and 9 because they were going to fight and they were going to spin out. It was obvious, it was going to happen. In a conversation after with Charles, because obviously by that time my SR10 was ruined, I said to Charles, did the people in front of you spin out? He turned around and said, yes they did. And I turned around and said, that's why I backed off. And he said, I didn't notice. I said, no, but I noticed you in the back end of my car, putting my SR10 up into the air. Since Monday, I haven't been back on track. So there we go. Charles Krasik battling away with Joel Jacklin currently at the moment. Sorry, Charles. I said to him I was going to do it, but I love him really. He knows he's apologised, it's fine. I'm not that fussed about it. But that is exact reasons why I don't take this SR10 out on track. Especially out of the fact that you commentate on one of the guys that end up putting you up in the air. But Krasik here is broken away from Jacklin. This Moncada Alvarez Place battle could get quite interesting with 20 minutes remaining here tonight. Moncada Alvarez Place and Reagan. Richard Hearn is currently sitting up in 4th place. He, as we said earlier on, as you can see, he is he's an IndyCar winner apparently, but he's only sat round about 2k in I rating, so that could be why he is positioned where he is. Now, would I put him in a pro? Probably, but you know, it's not my call here tonight, so I don't get yourselves involved in that one. I just turn around and go, yes sir. Yes, sir. Joel Jacklin is back onto the back end of Charles Krasik. That gap in that 6, 7, 8 plot sped out to nearly a second between the three. Over a second currently at the moment as well. So we'll keep an eye on the Jacklin Krasik battle. This is your closest battle on circuit at the moment. But Jacklin's point of view, there's not many places he could overtake him. There isn't. He's got to be really, really close coming out of 14 to even think about making the move into turn 1. And he hasn't really looking at getting close enough to Krasik to be able to make that move. Because there's nowhere else really to overtake. This circuit is so tricky. And there isn't a lot of places to be able to do that here tonight, so he's got to be really, really careful. Javosian and here battling away with Tyler Brown as well. The gaps are coming down in front. Alvarez, Moncada and Place, they're going to be together really, really soon, but Jacklin and Krasik are even closer currently. Let's see how these guys can do. Can Jacklin get Krasik? But I don't know where he's going to get him. That's the thing. There's not a lot of options here. You haven't got a slow enough corner at the end of a straight to be able to make the move in, you know, and that's the problem. That's the problem. There was just no slow enough corners here to be able to make the moves in for round Tyler Brown there as well. But yeah. We did have a catalogue of errors at the beginning with Javosian. I think he underestimated the braking of the guys in front. Solorzano as well was also involved in that at the beginning of lap 2. And then there was quite a few other people as well. Moncada, Alvarez, Place, they're all going to be together very, very shortly. Tyler Brown was also involved in that one, and Grable as well. All going into turn 1 at the beginning of lap 2. And then unfortunately for Chevrolet again, he went round on lap 4. So he's having a bit of a dreadful evening, and that was going down into turn 12. So for Havana Chevrolet now, not been a good night so far. Jacqueline and Krasik are still fighting their way and have been for the last 3 or 4 laps at least, and they've still got 17 minutes remaining. The gap up front has come down to 7 tenths, but one thing catching, another thing passing. So, you know, we'll have to see how they get on. Yeah, it is timed. Is this a timed or lap? It's timed, 30 minutes. I don't have to give you the laps if you don't want to know how many laps they've done, but I just thought it'd be, you know, cool so you could see that they're actually on lap 11. But they do have 30 minutes here tonight. I want to see how they're going to cope, these 3, because there's going to be no room on this circuit to try and make an overtake. Stop the car, Stephen Place, because otherwise that is an off track around the outside there, believe it or not. Place letting that SR10 run out. Now that line that Place took there where he let the car run out is a line that a friend of mine was taking. The leaders are going to be coming together again. Now obviously must have been a mistake from Seitzer because he's lost 5 tenths. Vieira running round into the last corner, kind of almost got like a slingshot motion where he goes in and then tries to pull the car back round under throttle. Not going to get him this time around, unfortunately, there as well. Vieira 1:16.694, Seitz 1:17.044, Simonari 1:16.974. So Seitz definitely had a poor last lap. Yeah, you can see there as well, Vieira's pulled out literally about 1.3 seconds over Greg Seitz over the last 3 laps as well. So unless Seitz is struggling here tonight, but he is being caught. Stephen Place is also here with Alvarez, and Charles Krasik and Joel Jacqueline are all still together. Currently, that is it. We've had no incidents since lap 5, apart from Torsten Lawson, who has just unfortunately crashed on lap 11. So let's have a look and see what Torsten's been up to. Right, this is coming into turn 1. Oh, Lawson. Lap 11. Unfortunately for him, he's gone around there. Oh, Alvarez. I want to see if these guys are still battling away. They were. It did signal that they've had an incident, though, Jacqueline and Krasik. Oh, Vieira's gone round. Lucas Vieira has gone round. Oh, no. That's coming down into turn 3 and 4. Oh, Lucas. There he goes, loses his place to Simonari. Poor Lucas Vieira. Not what he wanted to do, because now he's dropped down to 3rd place behind Simonari. And unfortunately for him, now he's got to try and battle his way back. Joel Jacqueline is looking a lot more racier over the last couple of minutes. So let's see how he can get on. Jacklin there as well. There's like a 3-second gap currently at the moment. From Simonari to Sites, Place and Alvarez, they're still battling away in that midfield battle of 5th, 6th and 7th, but these guys are running into turn 1. Off they go. They're at that round of 1 now, they're dropping down into 3 and 4. Hearn is currently leading the AMs, Sites is leading the pros. It looks like Greg Sites might possibly get a second win here in a row. From Lucas Vieira's battle, it's going to be interesting to see. I think that's the thing. Krasic goes in, takes a lot wider line than Jacklin does. On this run down, I want to see if they did actually come together here, because I've got a funny feeling they may have gone round. Is this going to be Krasic first, though? It is. It's got to be, isn't it? What does Jacklin do after that, then? Oh, no. Lap 12, Jacklin and Krasic. Krasic went off first. Jacklin went off after. And, yeah. So Jacklin went off in turn 12. Krasic went off on the run through to 12, coming out of 10. So unfortunately for them guys, they've now lost their sort of battle that they were having. They're still close on track, but not as close as they could be. Chris Rager, Diego Zuccarelli. Place in front of him, that is Stephen Place up the road. Diego Zuccarelli's about 4 seconds back, but he has got Solorzano behind him. Solorzano's going to be looking at trying to go up the inside. It has. Manuel Solorzano in the AMs overtakes Diego Zuccarelli from the pros. Don't forget, Diego was newly promoted last season along with Moncada and Richard Quinn. So there goes, we're newly promoted for the season, but it looks like Solorzano has cleared Zuccarelli currently at the moment. Krasic spun and then Jacklin spun after. Yeah, Krasic spun into coming out of 10, too much power down, and then Jacklin went and done the same into 12, which is a shame because Jacklin, oh, be careful there Zuccarelli, because Jacklin could have got away, I think, as well if he kept it on track, but they're quite spread out. There's like second gaps between people at the moment. Seeing if Vieira can catch down Simonari again. Unfortunately, he's got about 4.6 seconds now over Sites, so that's going to be a difficult one for him to retain. Tyler Brown into turn 1. Do we put money on the fact that Brown overcooked it going into 1? Krasic and Jacklin are resuming their battle. Jacklin's looking up the inside. He's going to send it in. Oh, no. Oh, hold on. Oh. Krasic and Jacklin, they are literally throwing everything at each other, including the SR10s. They got their wives in the back, chucking out all the utensils you could possibly get into the car. There goes the coffee machine from Mrs. Krasic. Here comes the ladle from Mrs. Jacklin. And all that is left now is the two drivers are throwing literally the car at each other. Simonari is being attacked by Vieira. Vieira has pulled that gap down. Simonari positions his car in the middle of the circuit there. Absolutely love it. Just positions his car in the middle of the track. Says, go on then, which way are you going to go? You're not going to get through either way. I'm just going to sit here in the middle. What is Vieira going to do? He knows he's got to get a better exit out of 14 to stand any chance of getting that car into the first part. So, how is this going to happen here for Vieira? Is he going to be able to do it this lap around? No, he's not going to get it done this time. Is Place going to be able to get through past Alvarez? That's going to be a no. And have Charles Krajicek and Joe Jacklin stopped throwing the SR10s at each other. They haven't. Oh, Krajicek run a little bit wide there. I can see why Jacklin went to go for it, because it looked like the gap was there, but Krajicek managed to pull it back and bring that SR10 and just cut his nose off and was like, no, sorry sir, you're not having that one here tonight. But Simonari is under attack by the Brazilian. That is Lucas Vieira. There is Vieira behind us in his Ayrton Senna helmet. Can he get past? Can he get past? That's going to be the thing here, because there is just nowhere to pass, like on the circuit. There's just nowhere to go. So from that point of view, I'm not entirely sure how he's going to clear it this time around, but he certainly is not going to do it on this lap. Pick up this battle again with Charles Krajicek and Joe Jacklin. Do you know the good thing is, right? I like the fact that they've gone for it and battling with each other. I get that. You know, that Krajicek spun first, then Jacklin went after. So Krajicek spun coming out of turn 10, too much beans on the loud pedal, and he went round. Then Jacklin went round in 12, outbraked himself and dragged the car round. Then they've come to contact on lap 16. They're still managing to drive the car. Now, it'd be interesting to know if both drivers, Jacklin's got straight wheels, Krajicek's got straight wheels. So, clearly there's no, oh, no, Charles Krajicek. Charles Krajicek. Lap 19, turn 1, goes round, unfortunately for him, and he's lost 2.82 seconds over Joel Jacklin. 5:27 on the clock, and we've got Lucas Vieira trying to get for Simonari. Looks like Torsten Lawson has had another spin, but I want to let this play out first before we can have a look back. Simonari out on the grass there. Here goes Vieira now. Is he going to be looking down into turn 3? He is. He's going to try and drag it back in. Oh, steady. They're going to be battling out of the exit of 3, out of 4, side by side. Oh, Simonari's not giving up. Through the S's a go. This is literally nose to tail. Here he goes. Oh, Vieira, who's on that aggression loud pedal, is now beside us. Lawson gets out of the way. Oh, Vieira's going to run around the outside of 11. Through 12 we go. He's got to be looking to get a better exit out of here. Simonari's on. Oh, Simonari's run wide. The door's open. Oh, Vieira tends him. Stop the car, Mateus. Simonari stopped that SR10, and wow, that was a move by Vieira on Simonari, and then just sent him in the inside and then kind of pushed him out, and there was just nowhere for him to go. And it all started with the fact that Simonari didn't get round turn 12 cleanly, and then that allowed Vieira to go up the inside of 13 to be able to get through, and it kind of, you know, it was an opportunist move from Vieira, but he definitely did it. So there you go, Vieira went and sent on Simonari, and that was all stemmed from Simonari's bad exit out of 12. He tightened up 10. He went on the inside of 11, which means he had to tighten up on turn 12. The problem is when he tightened it up, he was off the racing line, the natural racing line, should we say. And Vieira sent it out the inside because he knew he was going to get that better exit, because he took that continual normal racing line as such. So from Simonari's point of view, he can't really say a lot there. Torsten Lawson just moving over. He's had a bit of a dreadful evening here, as Torsten. So we won't focus on that too much. but Stephen Place and Antonio Alvarez. Here, 2 minutes 50 on the clock. There's going to be this one and one more. They're going into turn one for the penultimate lap. Oh, Place got the run then. Stephen Place from Team Radline. It looked like he was going to make that move into turn one. Didn't quite get it done as he's coming down into 3 and 4 now. Oh, Alvarez, that's a slow down out there. Place is going to try and look at picking him on the outside. He didn't get it this time. But Alvarez is off the line. He's a little bit flustered in that car at the moment. He ran wide. That was so close to an off track. That would have been a 0.5 off track just for going over that white line, which not only do they punish you for that, but they also give you an off track just for good health. You know what I mean? So here is Sights going around Tyler Brown. We should see. Is he going to make it? We're going to have oh, it's not the penultimate lap. We're going to have one and one more. Here tonight, Charles Krasik literally, oh, that's an off track. Sorry, Charles, just for picking off your good health there. You're going to get an off track for running wide, and that drops him back. We said it was about half a second. He's dropped back 1.3 over Warren Henry. Now, anybody that knows about an off track, right? Not only do you get punished with an off track, you then have to slow down, which gives you slower as well. Now, me personally, as I said early on, I am a little bit more of a conservative. I will drive until I can shift the off track off, and I will look for a hairpin to try and really break the off track down. But there are others. Oh, that's Hearn. Richard Hearn spun it. Oh, Richard Hearn all on his own. Yeah, lap 23 as well. Going down through turn 4. Spun the car, and we can guarantee what that's going to look like. There he goes. Oh, he's just not got it stopped, and by the time he did, he's out on the outside of the circuit. And away he's gone now. He's got to now try and play catch-up. Zuccarelli is there with Jason Dan Solizano. Warren Henry is behind Krasik. So these are two battles that could come in very, very shortly. We are on the final lap of the race. Greg Sights has taken the final lap, and he is currently off through turn 5 and 6. It looks like Sights is going to get this. I've got to be honest. Vieira's got to be kicking himself. He needed this today. He really did. He just hasn't got it at the moment. And it looks like Sights is kind of... I don't know if Vieira... I think you could really sum up and say this is the Vieira's psychological battle. You know, because it looked like he was pushing and pushing and pushing, and he just didn't get it. There he is. Greg Sights is your victor here tonight. Good job, buddy. Lucas Vieira comes across the line in second place. Simonari is going to get third. It's the same as last week. Moncada just hangs on from Alvarez. Stephen Place. Richard Hearn gutted. He spun the car. Chris Reagan, great debut for Chris. Solizano as well comes across third in class. Diego Zuccarelli behind him. Joe Jacklin and Charles Krasik. I've got to see if they want to chat, because they've literally thrown the car at each other, which is absolutely unbelievable. And I think they've had a great battle, and I'd love to have a chat with both of them if I can. Just wait for Charles to finish off coming across the line. I want to see if I can have a chat with Lucas as well. Yeah, Charles Krasik comes across the line with Warren Henry and Vanis Javosian. Sometimes we don't say what we want to say, but Havana has had rotten luck in this race, and it started from lap 1. Hearn spun again, just like the last race. Yep, unfortunately, there as well. He has done, but here are the results. From the Radical Sim Racers Americas League, Greg Seitz is in first, Lucas Vieira second, Matteo Simonari in third, Johan Moncada fourth, Antonio Alvarez in fifth, Stephen Place in sixth, Richard Hearn seventh, Christopher Reagan in eighth, Manuel Solazano ninth, Diego Zuccarelli 10th, Joel Jacklin in 11th, Charles Krasick down in 12th, Warren Henry 13th, Vanna in 14th, Tyler Brown 15th, Torsten Lawson in 16th, and then beyond that we've got David Grable behind that, and that is the last one there. So that is the race done and dusted this evening, and I can already see that Lucas Vieira is in the waiting room for us. We will bring Lucas in very shortly to come and have a chat. Didn't quite get the start he wanted there. You can see he got jumped by Greg Seitz. And unfortunately for Lucas, there was just a lot of pressure, I think, as well. And he's trying so hard currently at the moment that he really could have done with getting this victory. But let's have a chat with Mr. Vieira. Good evening, Lucas. How are you? I'm all right, mate. I'm always good. You should know that when I get to speak to wonderful people like yourself. Didn't get off the line as cleanly as you hoped. Is that a fair comment? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you, right? Where are you psychologically in this now? Because it looks like you're pushing, right? And don't get me wrong, you know you are, right? You're pushing like a trooper. I get it, but psychologically, where are you in conjunction to that? Because obviously, you know, Greg's gone out and taken 2 races off you now. You're defending champion, and we haven't seen a Vieira win yet. You know, it's going to be a tough championship this year for you.
I have chance for the rest of the season yet. For now, yeah. I don't know about the rest of the race.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it turns out they weren't actually hearing you on the broadcast, which is a little bit annoying, so they probably just heard complete silence while you were talking. But going forward, onwards and upwards, you know, we've got next week, we're going off to Catalonia. How does Lucas feel about Catalonia? Is he going to come out and, you know, race like we know you can?
Yeah, I like this track. I rather the old layout, the historical GP, but the new one is actually fun for me too. I know there is plenty straight, so it's pretty easy to make a move there. So I know that I have chance. So Greg is super quick there too, but I know there will be opportunities there, so I will try to enjoy these opportunities.
Okay, Alex. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave again this evening?
As usual, James, for you, I always get a shout out for you because you do an amazing job. And for Greg and Matthias, for a wonderful race, and for everyone who's watching.
Okay, well, congratulations on your second place, Lucas, and I look forward to speaking to you next week.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Take care. Right, let's have a quick chat with your Victor this evening. Greg, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you, James?
Mate, I'm not bad. Not bad at all. It was a race on your hands right up until the point where Lucas unfortunately spun in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, he put the pressure on really well. I was fortunate to get a good start, and we battled. I was a little bit tentative through the first few turns, and he took advantage of it and got alongside me, and almost got me there back. And then I had some decent pace, and then started to kind of fall off a little bit, and he caught right back up to me, and then I guess he entered the downhill hairpin just a little too fast, which is a incredibly sketchy turn at the speeds we're coming.
Yeah, definitely. I was running there myself the other day, and I went round there. And then again, I also ran wide. I got half a second slowdown, which I could sit here and feel grumbled about because I did go over the white line, but I didn't realise I got a slowdown because I'm not quite sure it was any faster going out that wide. But did you get through the race without a slowdown? Because there are slowdowns all over this track. And did you make it through?
Yeah, I did. I made it through. Once again, it's kind of like in the mid part of the race, I was trying to manage my tires because I knew things would get, pretty sketchy there at the end on the single stint with those tires. But my pace dropped off at the end, but I think probably everybody else's did. But yeah, no slowdowns for me.
Well, to be honest with you, you could have afforded to, couldn't you? It was another 9-second gap out to second place. So from that point of view, you kind of had the time there to slow down, and stop almost because.
It's nice to have that luxury.
Yeah, you're kind of dominating at the moment, aren't you? It's a difficult one. As I said to Lucas, where is he psychologically? And he said he's still fine. He's still got a long season to go. He can still do it. So he's still going to push and give you some competition. But Greg, look, another fantastic win this evening there, buddy. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, James, you for putting on a great broadcast, and my partner Kate, and once again my team Rust Racing, and again Lucas, and you really put the pressure on and made it a fun race.
Okay, mate, no worries. Well, much love for talking to you, and I'll maybe possibly have a chat with you up in Barcelona next week.
Alririghty.
Take care.
You too.
Right, I want to have a chat. Gonna have a chat with the top 3 first, so we'll bring in. No, I won't, because it's not going to work. Here he is. Let's bring in Matthias Seminari. Matthias, good evening to you. How are you, sir?
Good evening, James. I'm well. In the end, I stuck with the third, so I'm great.
Well, it's no different to last week, Matthias, really, is it? You got third last week, you got third again. Yeah, same again. Same top 3, same order.
Yes, but the start of the race, the first half was very dull until Lucas made a mistake, like the first race.
Mm-hmm.
I was near him, like the other race that I was like 7 seconds behind him. So after that, we have a fight with him, but I didn't have the tires, so I couldn't stop him to become second again.
Yeah, but look, dude, you took a third place. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you was involved with a nice little battle earlier on with Richard Hearn. So, all in all, the racing was good. You managed to catch up and, nearly, almost. But Lucas is quick. We know that, isn't he? And we go on to Barcelona next week, Matthias. How do you feel about that circuit?
I think it's better for the car. This one was very tricky. All the time turning. All the time spinning the rear, so let's see. Maybe in Barcelona I can put a fight. Yeah,
well, we're going to see a fight in Spain one way or another. It just depends who's going to be involved in the fight, I think. And at the end of the day,
I know.
If you're going to
maybe I got a bit lucky and they touch and I can win, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, Matthias. But thank you so much for joining me. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, thank you to my girlfriend that today is not feeling very well, and my family and the team that is supporting me to do it. This.
Awesome stuff.
So thank you, James.
No worries, Matthias. Well, you take care, buddy, and I'll probably look forward to speaking to you next week, maybe.
Thank you. See you.
Bye. Right, I do want to have a word with Mr. Joe Jacklin this evening. Joe, are you there, buddy? Can you hear me?
I can, James. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Oh, that was stressful.
Well, do you know, the thing is, right, you and Charles Krasik, now obviously I know what it's like battling with Charles. In fact, I know too well that he actually joined my SR10 in Hockenheim and sent me flying off into a wall. But, you know, you guys had a good old ding-dong tonight, didn't you, really, from the racing point of view?
We did. I mean, I fought him on like turn 6 through 8 there, just about every lap. I seemed to be quick through there. I just couldn't get in. I couldn't get enough inside of him through turn 8 there to pull off the pass. And then one time I did get a good run. I thought he saw me inside and we tapped, and I felt pretty bad about that. But whenever I did pass him, I kept spinning, and then he got me right back anyways. Seems like I wanted to chase him the whole race.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were just going to be joined at the hip throughout the whole thing. You know, as you say, he spun in 10, you spun in 12, then there was contact on 16, then he went wide in 1, you got him back again, and then it was all back, and I was just going, these guys are never going to stop. Like at one point, it was almost reminding me that, you know, you both had your partners in the car and they were chucking things out the window at each other because it was just going absolutely mental. You know what I mean? I mean, it was absolutely loving the fact that you guys had an absolute amazing ding-dong, but I guess that's kind of what the racing is about, isn't it, really, in this series? There'll be no hard feelings at all, and you'll go into next week and have an absolute barnstormer again, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my brother watched the broadcast last week and said they were going to play a drinking game where every time you mentioned my name, he would take a shot. So I had to do something to get your attention. So you would.
Oh, mate, he's going to be drunk tonight.
Play along there.
He's going to be completely drunk, because I had you on I had you for literally about 50% of the broadcast time was you and Charles Krasik. And literally I could just imagine your partners sitting in the chairs, mate, throwing things at each other. It was so, it creased me up because you were going for it, and I absolutely love it when two drivers just, bar literally throwing the cars at each other, are having an absolute epic race. And that's what racing is all about, Joe. So well done to you and Charles. Much love for doing that as well. But Joe, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
I want to give a shout out to my son, who's my biggest fan, and my wife for allowing me to do all this.
Oh, there's always a shout out for the wives, and I figured out why. It's because the men like sleeping in the bed and not on the sofas. Trust me.
That is very true.
Yeah, it's very true, isn't it? You're going to end up with either a cold feet, mate, or you're going to end up cold feet when you get upstairs. But either way, you know, you could be in trouble if you don't thank the missus. But Joe, look, absolutely amazing race, buddy. And I look forward to possibly seeing more of the action next week at Barcelona.
Yep, thanks.
Take care, man.
You too.
See, there you go, guys. That's what racing is all about, right? And I apologise for the sound of Lucas Vieira. I promise I will work on that one. But that's kind of what the racing is about here. They absolutely, Joe Jacklin and Charles Krasik literally threw the car at each other, didn't they? They were literally going for it. Hammer on tongue. There's no hard feelings. Everybody loved it. And I just thought it was absolutely amazing. And if you are watching Joe Jacklin's friends who have said that every time I mention his name, you've got to take a shot, well, you know, just to top it all off, Jacklin, Joe Jacklin. So there we go. That was 5, by the way, so get on it, boys. Get on it. Right, guys, I think that has brought us to the end of tonight's race. I mean, we can safely say that was kind of an epic performance there as well. Sainz and Vieira were having the scrap until Vieira put it round on lap 13, and Nat brought in Simonari, and then him and Simonari were going backwards and forwards. But Charles Krasik and Joe Jacklin, you know, lap 12, lap 16, lap 19, they were going at it all the way through, and I think it was absolutely incredible from them as well. A couple of other bad evenings from Grable, Brown, Gevorgian, Solizano. They were all caught up in the incident in turn 1 on lap 2 as well. So I think overall, you know, it was a mixed bag for some, but it was a good one up front. Now, psychologically, for Seitz, I know he turns around, and I know Vieira says that he's not, but I have never seen Lucas Vieira make this many mistakes. I don't think he made them at all throughout of last season, and he hasn't done well in 2 races so far. And I just wonder if the pressure is slightly getting to Lucas. I know he's probably not going to admit it, but I think it's got to be there or thereabouts, because at the moment, Seitz has got his number, and Lucas keeps making mistakes. So it's going to be interesting to see. Then we've got the Mr. Consistent Matteo Simonari, who's just literally sat in the, picking up 3rd places over the first 2 races. Again, he thinks he's going to get 3rd again. He's almost like the best of the rest. But Moncada is pushed as well, consistent again. So he's in 4th place as well. And I think that's an absolutely stunning job. Further down the order, Stephen Place again. Richard Hearn is still in the AMs as well, so he's been doing well for his first season. Havana Chavozian, not too much, had a bit of a rough one tonight as well, and as we know, David Graybill is still trying to get to grips with the car. So there we go, guys. That has been one of the stories of this evening, but I think that rounds us out for tonight. Here on the JPB YouTube channel. Don't forget, we have got a lot of racing coming up this weekend as well. So if you are here and you are sitting here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, and give the video a big old thumbs up, because tomorrow night we've got the European AMs and Pros, one after the other. So they start at 7:45, then we go over to the Pros at 8:45, and then after that we've got the SRL GT4 round 5 from the Hungaro ring. Okay, so that's straight after the AM and Pros. So we've got 1 at 8, 1 at 9, 1 at 10:15. I'm not here on Saturday. I am off onto the Autosport International. So if anybody's up there, please come and say hi. But we've still got racing going on. We've got 2 events on Saturday night. We've got the Revival Racing League on Assetto Corsa, which are the old style 1950s F1 cars, and they look incredible. I've seen some of the liveries, they look amazing, so please tune in for that one. We've also got the CMS R Factor as well, that kicks off on Saturday as well, so stay tuned for that one. So there's still racing going on, so thank you so much. And then on Sunday we've got the LSRL GT3 round 2, so a lot going on over this weekend on the JPB YouTube channel. But guys, that is it from me. I am going to round this out. I'm going to head to bed. So from me, you all take care, have a great week, and you never know, might see you on the track sometime. Good night.